Willy Paul, or Willy Pose as many people call him, has been making headlines for years. But his story is more complicated than you might think. He's not just a musician, he's also been at the center of big conflicts, especially this thing at Furaha City. At Furaha City, things went wrong when Diamond Platinums wanted to change the schedule, which messed with Willy Paul's time. This led to arguments backstage, and it showed the bigger picture of how Kenyan artists sometimes feel disrespected. So after all the drama, everybody is asking, is this the end of Willy Paul? To understand what this all means and the whole journey, we have to go way back to Mathare. Mathare is a big, crowded slum in Nairobi, where life is really hard, and that's where Wilson Abubakar Radido grew up. He was born in September 1st, 1993, the last born in a family of 4, and life was a struggle every single day. His dad was a carpenter from Uganda, his mom a hairdresser from Tanzania. They worked super hard to take care of their kids, but in Mathare, even that isn't always enough. Willy Paul has talked about how he would sometimes go to bed hungry, which is something a lot of people in this neighborhood experienced. Even though things were tough, Mathare was always a place of not giving up and of hoping for a better future. It's where Willy Paul's music story began. A young boy surrounded by problems, but also someone who dreamed of a better life through music. That's where the Willy Paul story started. It's a story built on struggles, big dreams, and the hope of a young kid from Mathare. Even though life was hard in Mathare, Willy Paul loved music. It was a way out, and it helped him show his feelings. His journey into music started with something simple. He went all the way from Mathare to Umoja just to go to a Kodidas concert. He wanted to perform, he wanted to be heard, and he took the chance to show his talent. This took a lot of guts, and Jay Blessing, who is a big name in Kenyan music, noticed him. Jay Blessing saw something special in this guy and wanted to help him out. In 2010, when he was just 17 years, Willy Paul got his first break. His early songs were about his life, his problems, and his hope for something better. But it was one song that changed everything. When he worked with Gloria Muliro in the song Sitolia, everything changed. It put him on the map and made him a big name in Kenyan gospel music. It was a song that touched a lot of people. From Mathare to the music scene, Willy Paul rose up quick. His unique style, which he said was given him in a dream, made him special, and his journey began. Willy Paul's rise in gospel music was fast and amazing, but behind the scenes, things were getting tough. The industry he thought would help him was becoming a battleground. Even though he made popular songs, Willy Paul was starting to feel disappointed. He saw others getting awards while his work was being ignored. The people who were supposed to be supporting him were instead trying to bring him down. His music, which he felt was from God, started to get a lot of hate. People criticized his style, the way he did things, and even his Tanzanian accent, which he felt was a gift from God. The thing that made him unique was now being used against him. Behind the gospel music world, Willy Paul found a lot of backstabbing, fakeness, and sabotage. He said that some people were blocking his songs from getting played on the radio, calling his music, and I quote, not godly, end of quote. This made it hard to earn money, which made it difficult to take care of his family, even though he was a popular artist. The hate, the discrimination, and feeling like he didn't belong took a toll. Willy Paul has talked about how much it hurt and how he had depression. He cried silently for months and how he felt like his peers were targeting him. Music, which was supposed to be his hope, had become a burden. The place he wanted to be had become like a prison. Willy Paul realized that his journey wasn't going to be easy. As Willy Paul got more famous in the gospel scene, so did another young artist named Kevin Bahati. Because they were both similar and appealed to young people, everyone started comparing them. The rivalry between Willy Paul and Bahati became the main story in Kenyan gospel music. Fans chose sides and the media made things worse, always looking for drama. The Groove Awards, the biggest gospel awards show in Kenya at that time, became the place where they fought the most. They were always competing for awards, which made things super competitive. In 2015, things got crazy. Bahati said that Willy Paul had stolen his music, claiming that he had paid producers to get his songs and record them. This was a big deal and made the situation even worse. The 2015 Groove Awards were supposed to bring peace, but when Bahati won the most awards, including Male Artist of the Year, Willy Paul got frustrated and left. The rivalry had become so toxic that it was affecting everyone. The Willy Paul versus Bahati rivalry showed how many problems there were in the gospel music industry. It was yet another problem that Willy Paul had to navigate in an already tough time. After years of struggling in the gospel music world, Willy Paul was done. The hate, the fakeness, and the constant fight to be recognized, it was too much. He started questioning whether he could really be himself within the gospel scene. His switch wasn't sudden, it was a slow change. He started working with artists from different genres. For example, I Do with Elaine is a song that people loved and others questioned. It was the start of a new journey. Also, the songs with Harmonize and Nandi afterwards made it clear that he was moving towards secular music. These songs changed his style and his audience. Some gospel fans felt betrayed and abandoned, while others liked his new sound and how he was changing. Leaving gospel music for secular was a huge risk. It could have ruined his career, but for Willy Paul, it was a chance to find his own path and make his own choices. Fortunately, it worked. Willy Paul didn't just survive, he thrived. He tried new things, found new songs, and reached more people. The music world that once rejected him now was open to him. His songs were all over the charts on platforms like Boomplay, YouTube, TikTok, and Shazam. Songs like with Rayvanny were top of the Mdundo charts and the most streamed on Boomplay in Kenya. Jiggy Jiggy was number one in a lot of Kenyan charts, including Mdundo, the top 40 single charts, and the local top 20 hits. His music got millions of streams. He's worked with many different artists, both from Kenya and from other countries. This has made him even more famous and showed how talented he is as an artist. He's been able to tour Europe, sharing his music and proving that he is a global artist. He has over 19.5 million total plays on Spotify, over 118,000 monthly listeners, and over 217,000 followers. And in Nairobi, his most popular city for streaming, he has over 43,000 listeners. Willy Paul isn't just an artist, he's also a businessman. He started his own record label, Saldido International Entertainment, which gave him all the control over his music and let him help other artists. His ability not to give up, to change, and to keep working hard is what has changed his career. From a boy from Mathare to a big star in Kenyan music, Willy Paul has proven he can achieve anything. He proved his haters wrong and wasn't just some gospel artist trying to do secular music. He's a real musician who has made waves and is here to stay. This is his success. The Willy Paul story isn't simple. It's full of ups and downs, of good times and bad times. And the incident at Furaha City showed us the tension between Kenya and Tanzanian artists and added another layer to his story. People quickly started criticizing him, saying that his career was over. But it wasn't the first time Willy Paul faced problems. He had come from the poverty of Mathare, went through a toxic gospel scene, and changed his career completely. The Furaha City incident showed that Willy Paul is strong and good at adapting. He wasn't just fighting for his performance, but for the respect of all Kenyan artists. He went on stage and gave an amazing performance. How this will change his music career or his life, we don't know. But what's for sure is that his journey is far from over and he continues to grow. So is this the end for Willy Paul? Absolutely not. This is just another part of his story, and what's next will probably be as unexpected as everything else he has done. The journey continues. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you subscribe, like, and share. See you in the next video.